Hey guys, my name's Sam and welcome to Prep Medic. In this week's video, we have teamed up with Alex from Iron Infidel to discuss the physical requirements for SWAT Academy as well as how to prepare for it. So you guys know that one of my huge goals with this channel is to collaborate with other people in the public safety realm to give you guys a wide variety of content, which is why this week we have decided to partner with Alex from Iron Infidel to discuss some of the fitness requirements for SWAT academies. Now, even though I have passed several PT tests for law enforcement academy, SWAT school, fire academy, fire departments, and EMS, I am far from a subject matter expert. Alex, however, runs a fitness-related company, Iron Infidel, and also has a YouTube channel and an Instagram page that do a really good job of representing the law enforcement aspect of public safety. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
What's going on, guys? My name is Alex, and today we're going to be discussing the physical demands of a SWAT academy. I'm going to be giving you kind of a look behind the curtain as to how SWAT academies function, and then some tips on how to successfully prepare physically for the academy. And trust me, guys, you aren't suffering alone. The spot I was going to go record this video is blocked off to vehicles, so it looks like I've got a few mile hike ahead of me. So I'll see you guys up there. All right, before we jump into how to prepare for a SWAT academy, it's important that we understand the differences between a SWAT tryout and a SWAT academy. And also understand the reality that not all experiences are the same. Somebody who joins a SWAT team in New York may have a significantly different experience than somebody who joins a team in, say, Texas. There's no national standard, but typically there's three types of academies. There's your low stress academy, which is geared towards education. It wants to train you. They treat you with some semblance of respect like a human. And then there is medium stress, which is kind of a healthy balance. They do a lot of training, they do a lot of education, but they do put an emphasis on physical training. And then lastly, there's high stress, which is they don't really care about training you all that much. It's really just a beat down. It's like a selection process, and it's designed to test you and break you both physically and mentally and see who is left standing at the end. And I had the luxury of going to a high stress academy. So that is what we're here talking about today. And also, if you prepare for a high stress academy physically, you will never be underprepared if you end up going to a medium stress or a low stress academy. Now, don't confuse SWAT tryouts with a SWAT academy. They're two completely different things. Typically, a team will hold SWAT tryouts, and if you pass those, they give you the opportunity to go to an academy, but it's not until you pass that academy that you're actually on the SWAT team. And in my experience, when you are training for tryouts, they should be attacked completely differently than when you're training for an academy. Tryouts usually come in the form of one day, the physical portion is, and it's high intensity, high exertion, and short bursts, and that's usually in the form of an obstacle course. And guys, obstacle courses can be deceivingly difficult, and their difficulty relies largely on how much time they actually give you to pass. When I was training for ours, I trained for months for our obstacle course. I looked at it, that it wasn't gonna be that hard. It didn't look, too difficult, but I had to dive to the finish to actually pass. And I'm not kidding, I literally had to dive to the finish to pass that. So what I recommend when I'm training for an obstacle course or for a tryout, it's short, high intensity training sessions that involve both strength and aerobic endurance. And just to keep things short for you guys, I'll give you a sample workout of what I did when I was training for tryouts. I would alter locations all the time, but this can be done at a gym, at your home, up here in the hills where I'm at, or a park or whatever. But when I would come to the hills, I would have 3 rounds of a 4-minute circuit, and it would involve hill sprints followed by 24 count push-ups, 24 count burpees, and 24 count flutter kicks. And I would do it back to back to back until I got to 4 minutes, and then rest, and then repeat that 3 times over, and then I would call it a workout. That was enough. I was smoked after that. You're gonna be smoked after that too. But that is just one sample. You can do that 100 different ways. The key is to stay in a sustained aerobic state for the 4 minutes and then be able to repeat it multiple times. And if you can do that, you're going to be prepared for your tryouts. But when you are preparing for an academy, that is a completely different animal, and they should be attacked a completely different way. One thing to know about high stress academies is they are designed to push you beyond your physical and your mental limits. Everybody there, it doesn't matter how fit you are, you're gonna get pushed beyond your physical limits. And that's because the cadre, they don't care who the fittest person is there. Everybody there, if you've got to that level, you're fit. But what they wanna know is who can hold up to the mental punishment. And now you're gonna be sleep deprived and on lack of calories likely, and at a sustained pace, that is going to deteriorate your physical capabilities. And pro tip, guys, make sure you go number 2 before every day, because likely you're gonna get like 30-second head calls. And that means when you gotta go, you gotta hold it. And for 20 hours while getting smoked intermittently, that is a real pain. Now in my academy, PT came in all forms. So we had long, steady state runs, we had short, high intensity circuits, hill runs, gas mask runs, and pretty much everything in between. So if I had to do it all over again, my training program would reflect that. I would have designated free weight training days, high intensity interval training days, and I would follow an intermediate to advanced running program segmented over a 6-day split. So to give you an example, it would look like this. On my free weight training days, first of all, guys, we're training for a high intensity academy. We don't care about how our abs look. We don't care about how our bicep peaks look. We want movement patterns that involve as many muscle groups as possible. So that's gonna be your squat, your bench, your deadlift, maybe your overhead press, and maybe your pull-up. And you can break that up a couple different ways. You can do an upper body day and a lower body day. So on upper body, you're hitting just upper body. And you're gonna wanna increase the volume on that because you're just doing those muscle groups once a week, and then the same thing with your lower body. Or you can break it up into 2 full body days, in which case you're hitting your full body once, allowing some days in between to recover, and then hitting your entire body again. And you're gonna wanna decrease the volume on that because you're hitting every muscle group twice per week. And you're also going to want to include, like I said, high intensity interval training. Those are short bursts of extreme exertion, and they're great because they improve your oxygen consumption, similar to steady state cardio, but in a fraction of the time, and they're much less taxing on your knees, your ankles, your feet, just your joints in general, and you don't want to go into an academy getting hurt or getting nagging pains in your joints. So high intensity interval training is great for that. All right, guys, I'm interrupting myself because this hike reminded me of a couple quick hacks that are gonna help you and make your academy experience much less painful. And the first one is you should always adjust your training to match your expected environment, meaning at the academy, you're probably going to be doing all PT and spend your entire day in boots and BDUs, so your preparation for the academy should reflect that. So you should be doing all of your running, all your PT in boots, and that's gonna help you twofold. For the first, you're just gonna get comfortable running in boots, and the second is you're going to be able to break in your boots prior to going to the academy. I went to the academy with 2 pairs of boots, and they were ultra lightweight Under Armour boots. They were great because they were basically the weight of a tennis shoe, but they had no ankle support. So if you expect to be doing any type of hiking or rucking or anything like that, just be cognizant of that. And then the reason I have 2 pairs of boots is because in all likelihood, you're gonna be doing some form of swimming, or there could be rain or something like that. And if your boots get soaked, it's going to be a horrible experience. So you want 2 pairs, that way you can swap them in and out intermittently whenever you need to, and it's just gonna make your experience much better. All right, guys, we made it up to the top, and I've got one more academy hack for you, and that is simply just stay hydrated. And I know that sounds basic and you've heard it 100 times before, but that is because it is that important. Just in the tryout to get to the academy I went to, we had 4 guys, all of which, these guys were in good shape. They got ambulanced off to the hospital based on a combination of a few things. First of all, the workout was extremely difficult, and we were going through like a heat wave, so it was very, very hot, but also presumably a lack of proper hydration beforehand. What hydration does is it regulates your core body temperature. So in those times of extreme exertion, extreme heat, your body's able to handle it and keep pushing forward. But when you're not hydrated, you're not able to do that. And you don't really know the benefits of adequate hydration until you've really felt the pitfalls of dehydration. So you should be drinking water before every day at the academy, any chance you get while you are actually there between PT sessions, and then after every day. That way you know you're capable to keep pushing that day, the next day, and even the following weeks. All right, guys, I know you hate running, I hate running, but you gotta be prepared for the unfortunate reality you're gonna be running, and you're probably gonna be doing a whole lot of it. So you gotta be at least an intermediate level, and that means you're running 5 miles in about 40 minutes or less. But the good news is that's not that difficult to get to. It's not that difficult to attain. You just need a systematic approach to progression and be on a smart running program. I don't want to bore everybody to death by talking all about running in this video. So if you're interested in that, I made a video on my channel. Go check it out. I go in depth about running. Guys, as with anything physical, you got to be smart about it. You need to stretch before every exercise, pay attention to nagging pains because those can turn into debilitating injuries. You need a clean diet, don't neglect rest, and if you do all of these things, I promise you, you're gonna set yourself up on a trajectory for success. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you got some things out of this. I enjoyed giving you some information. Stay tuned to more content if you check out my channel, and I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for watching, guys. That is all we have for this week's video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Alex will be monitoring these for a couple weeks, I'm sure. So if you have specific questions for him, that's a great place to put them. Also, if you're interested in the content that I sent over to his channel covering TECC and basic bleeding control for the law enforcement officers, I will leave a little tag up here and a link down in the description. Like I said, that's all I have for this week, and I will see you next time.